Here we go. We're live. All right. So we're in the middle of talking
All
about
right.
the Lone Star tick and the first person to pass away due to the disease. But according to Jan and I think there's still a jury out there whether he passed away or not from that disease. But according to the
Yeah, because
doctor, he had the antibodies in his system. So that's why they're saying it's from
yeah,
that.
but that same article says that there are 1,000 people that he saw, that person saw,
Yeah, I
with the
know.
antibodies and no symptoms.
Dude, what a mystery.
So, just because you have the antibodies in your system doesn't mean that you're symptomatic.
No.
You could be asymptomatic. There's a lot of people that get these alpha galls that don't show symptoms,
Yeah.
and they find out just by a routine annual blood test. Some of them, or they something else is going on, and
Yeah.
doctors start looking into it
All
because you
right.
got to test for this.
We just jumped to like five subjects, but back to the chronic wasting disease. Um, they're saying like it doesn't, it's not really transmittable to people, but they don't know that for sure either. So that's why, to me, it does scare me a little bit. Um,
No, they do not
no, they say it's not, but the
know.
guy, but here's a question, and I can't think of the hunter's name, but he says if I kill a deer that you know has chronic wasting disease, and I make you a hamburger with that, will you eat it?
No.
No. So we don't really know. And I talked to a few hunters, and they said it's been around forever. It's just popular now. You know what I mean? I'm like, what? I was like, what's that supposed to mean? He goes, well, we've killed a lot of deer like this every year. As soon as you cut it open, he goes, you know if meat's bad when you look at it, right? I say, yeah, instantly. He goes, well, there you go. And
Yeah.
I go, yeah, I guess I don't, you know, I mean, I'm not slaughtering an
Listen,
animal out in the forest, but
when you gut an animal,
you know
there's
right away, don't
odors.
you?
There's odors. Yeah. Plus, hunters track their hunting spots. That's why
Yeah,
they have those game cams. That's why they put up the stands. They know their spots. They know the herds.
yeah,
They know the healthy. An experienced hunter is going to know a good, healthy herd by the looks of it. He's going to be able to tell if there's any stragglers that are ill and what to watch out for. And, so, hunting
yeah.
is a skill. It's a skill for sure.
It also
And
says, this scares the shit out of me too. New research also suggests that plants may absorb prions from contaminated soil, allowing them to move from roots into stems and leaves. If confirmed outside the lab, that could mean the deer are being infected through the through the very forage
foliage,
they eat. They didn't
that's
word that
right.
right.
And listen, I
And look where it's
guarantee you,
concentrated, right in Pennsylvania. Shit.
listen, prions are positively charged, okay?
Yeah.
That's why I pee, and so, anyways, roots got to have a water source, right? So,
Yeah.
in areas that are going to be by bogs or streams or brooks, that's where everybody hunts because the deer are always coming there to
Yeah.
drink. So, those areas, I absolutely believe that plants and tree roots even, can pick up that bacteria
Yeah. The
and transport it throughout their system because we know now how everything is transferred to the roots and through the soil and through the mycelium.
yeah.
That's where mushrooms come in. Mushrooms are like the stopgap. That's why you'll find certain mushrooms grow prolific by water areas like reishi, things like that. Whereas other mushrooms, like we talked about earlier, black trumpets, they like to be on downward slopes of mountains where water
Yeah.
runs off, not where water stays. Like where the winter snow melt off is. That's where you want to go looking for black trumpets
Yeah, so
always.
this also scares the crap out of me too. Perhaps the biggest challenge is that CWD prions resist inactivation. the process of destroying pathogens with heat, chemicals, or radiation. Unlike bacteria and viruses, prions survive these treatments. During a study using incineration as a method to render CWD prions inactive, success wasn't realized until temperatures reached around 1800 degrees Fahrenheit. So what happened? That scares the crap out of me. So you have to. So there isn't. Is there a cure? There isn't one. CWD is a 100% mortality rate. Infected deer can incubate the disease for 5 to 36 months before showing symptoms, which then worsen and worsen over the next year. Common symptoms and behaviors include weight loss, drooling, excessive thirst, teeth grinding, and lethargy. Basically, zombie stuff. Uh, Upper Midwest and West region infection rates in some herds have reached as high as 40%. Without a cure, long-term future of North America's populations is in dire peril. Shit. Is this something that's going to be like too big to fix once it's too big to fix? You know what I mean? Like, is it
I
going
don't know. Listen, we
to?
know that
Whoever wrote this,
we know that it's
Bangor
we know
Daily
that
is
it's
really wrote a smacker right down here.
yeah, right.
Yeah.
Uh, Listen, we know that it's caused by, we know that it's bred, we know its form, it's a prion,
Yeah.
okay? That's a proteinaceous. It's an infectious particle, okay? And they're really, really small. They're tinier than viruses, okay? And the it to find something to kill them, okay? Because it's an infectious agent that doesn't have nucleic acid. Okay, so this to try to kill a prion, I don't know. This is how I think it should be done.
That's
More
crazy.
water, dilution. You know, I think chronic wasting disease is so rampant in the Northeast corridor right now because the drought was so bad in the Northeast
Yeah,
corridor.
that too. Yeah.
And as soon as we get, a lot of, we're gonna get some heavy snow this
I
winter.
hope you do.
Come yeah,
I
listen,
mean,
come
where there's yin, there's
January,
yang. So you had a brutal
well,
summer. You should
well, it's
have
an
a
El
nice winter.
Yeah, Mother Nature loves to balance herself out, and she does that with El Nino. So we're having an El Nino winter now, and that means that it's going to be a little bit warmer than normal on some days. Like there was Christmas Day about 10 years ago. It was 70 degrees outside here at my home in
Wow.
Maine, and we took pictures. We were outside barefoot on Christmas Day. Okay, the very next day it was like 20 below. All right, it's going to be It's going to be a winter like that, and we're going to have massive dumpings. I think beginning right after Christmas. I think we're gonna start because right now I told you it was cold earlier when we started. It was like 39, 40 degrees
Yeah.
today. That is exceptionally warm for this time of year
Really? For
in
you?
Maine. Yeah, because usually, I mean, 6, 7 winters ago, we had a winter called Snowvember, where every single day we got like a dumping of like a foot or more in our highlands. It was crazy the amount of snow we were getting the entire month of November. The ski places didn't even have to make snow; they were opened up the beginning of November. Now they're talking about opening dates, and they're making snow now, and this is typically how it's
Well,
been.
I don't know if it's just because I was a kid and uh, it was like always epic when it snowed and it seemed like a lot. I'm 36, by the way. So when I was 7 or 8 or 6 years old, the 1993 blizzard was like crazy. I remember it being like 6 feet tall and all this stuff, and I haven't had anything since. Do you remember
Yeah,
that? That might have not
yeah,
affected you.
probably not. But I remember being a kid in Connecticut
Yeah, we
and
haven't had anything like it.
the blizzard of '77. when
Yeah, the
that's like
blizzard of
Maine.
'93.
That's like how Maine. That's how Maine used to be every day in the wintertime. We get these massive snow amounts, but we don't get that anymore. But this year, I think we're gonna, the dumpings that we get,
Says
they're gonna be,
78. The blizzard of
they're gonna,
78 in Portland, Maine.
yeah,
Holy crap.
yeah.
That's funny. Yeah, when I was a kid, I felt like it snowed a lot more. It was a lot colder. As soon as it hit Halloween, it was like, bam, winter, you were done. And then that's it. Nothing else. I haven't had more than 2 feet of snow prior 2020.
Just in one dumping or the entire season?
Well, not the entire season. I'm talking about like one big blizzard, like a 2, 3 footer.
Oh yeah, we had one of those a couple years ago where we had like 3 feet. It was crazy. What's even crazier is when we have big dumpings like that here in Maine, we get these massive snowdrifts that, I mean, you can't drive. It's a complete whiteout. You got to be nuts to be on the road. You can't even see a plow truck until you can hear it before you can see it. Put it that way.
Yeah, I'm
When it's a
gonna
big
share
whiteout.
something fun. This is gonna be the snowstorm of '78. See if YouTube doesn't flag. Can you see that?
Not yet. It takes a second. It takes a second. The
It might
heater,
not
the
even
Charles
let you.
Blade heater. I see the advertise. Oh, there it is. Channel 12. Oh yeah. Don't you remember a couple years ago in Chicago how Chicago was all shut down and people just like left their cars right on the freeway in Chicago?
No.
Oh my goodness, that was just a couple years ago.
I
They
remember
were
it snowed down
abandoning their
south
cars
last
right
year
on
and
the
people freaked
Chicago.
out. Oh, look at that mess. Oh my
Yeah.
God.
Listen, there's a huge northern vortex that's dipping down, and it's going to be hitting people like in Chicago and stuff like that
Well,
this week.
last year
And
it snowed in Texas or Carolina, and they shut everybody down. Remember
how
last
much you
year?
want to bet? How much you want to bet? Okay, let's make it. Let's make a friendly
Yo,
wager amongst
you lost this bet
no,
uh,
listen,
for the summer.
amongst
Just so you know,
friends.
look at that,
I
dude.
did, I
Holy
did. Let's
crap!
make this bet amongst friends because I used to live in the Southland in Southern California.
Yeah.
Okay, and I remember being out there one winter, and it snowed in Malibu, and it snowed in Malibu just a couple years back too. I bet you that because of this year's weather pattern,
Oh man, you're not gonna say
that
what I think you're gonna
Malibu.
say.
Yep, I am. I bet you during the course of this winter. Okay, what should we wager? We got to wager something good.
I don't want to take this bet.
Oh come on!
It's got to be a good bet. Well, it is a better bet for me because it's not gonna. All right, what? I don't know.
I'm thinking that Southern California is going to see snowflakes this winter at some point. Whether it's for 2 minutes or what, it's still going to make the AP Newswire. I know it will. But this is that kind of season that I'm talking about this year because this big dip polar vortex that's dipping down.
Yeah.
They're not sure how far west, if at all, how far east, if at all, it's going to come.
All right, hold on.
So,
here. Let's see this.
so we may not get that gripping cold, but Buffalo, New York's going to get it. Chicago's going to get it. Parts of the Midwest are going to get it.
Dude, it says it's going to bring a wild weather pattern change.
Yep.
Oh
and
man,
the volcanoes are heating up.
dude, I love weather. I people are always like,
There's going to be
I'm like, dude,
earthquakes.
I love weather. I love storms. I love bad weather. Being out in bad weather on the brink of it. People that like storm chasing, dude, like I would be all over that. I don't want to do it myself though. That'd be too scary. I'd have to be with the pros. But yeah, storm chasing would be cool.
I've said this before. I've lived in Southern California. I've lived in South Florida, and I came back to my home in Maine for a reason. I can weather any northeaster. A good nor'easter is like a hurricane in the wintertime.
Yeah.
You get you get 100-mile-per-hour winds sometimes with snow and ice and everything else. And I would much rather have that than be smacked in a Cat 4 hurricane ever again.
Oh, dude, a hurricane? Shit. When I was
No,
down.
I don't mind a hurricane in the winter. I mind it in tropical climates.
Oh my god, dude.
Yeah, that I don't like. I went through 4 hurricanes the year that I said F this and came
You
back
know,
clean.
hurricanes, they took a big weather pattern change too. They smacked a bunch of areas
Huge
this year that they never go that deep into, and places that haven't been hit in
and
fucking 80 years.
way more powerful.
And they
Way
last
more.
longer. People were putting their tinfoil hats on
Yep.
saying they were messing with the weather, and that's what was doing it. And then the mega storm that happened in Dubai and in the middle of the desert, the first time in what,
Well,
200 years? It's like,
Florida's governor DeSantis
yeah,
just passed legislation that you can't alter the weather in
good. Yeah,
Florida.
if he has to do that, that's not fucking good.
No, it's not.
And then other people were saying that the Northern Lights, that they're not really technically Northern Lights that we're seeing. You know
Dude,
what I mean?
NASA copped to us having a second moon until like 2058 now.
Yeah.
We actually have. Listen, a friend of mine
Yeah,
on
there's
Facebook
yeah.
just last week, she took a picture of what was that second moon in the middle of the day.
That's cool.
And I said to her, I go, that's the moon. And she said, Janice, it's in the middle of the day. And I said, yeah, I know. I'm aware. We got another one now.
All right, hold on. NASA confirms Earth now has 2 moons until 2083.
Ta-da!
Why are there 2 moons right now? Earth does not have 2 moons, as asteroid
Yep.
2025 PN7 is what is known as a quasi-moon
It's in orbit.
because it orbits
Yes,
the
it's
sun
in
in particular
orbit.
paths of the Earth. Everybody, the quasi-moon. Hold on, Jay.
It's
Let me.
our
I
second
gotta.
moon. We're gonna have this.
When
we're
I
gonna have
harvest,
this.
when I harvest some wild edibles, I'm gonna specifically tell everybody that it was under the quasi-moon, 20 also known as PN7. Since
It's just like
that's pretty
satellites.
cool.
Satellites.
Well, it's like
A
having a friend
satellite
around.
is
I feel,
something that orbits the Earth. The moon is just a big old satellite, or a regular
yeah,
lunar moon.
or China's base,
This
whatever.
is sucked into an orbit, and it's going to be orbiting the same.
All right, let's see
You
if we
know,
got an image here.
second moon. We got a second moon. You know, UFOs are real. We got a second moon. Whales are beaching themselves.
That's not
the thing
new.
we need to talk about. Nantucket just had a massive sperm whale beach itself. Then in Oregon, another massive sperm whale.
Yeah, here it is.
The Oregonians were fighting to keep that thing alive, and there's nothing that
Dude,
could.
how do you keep a
alive.
beached whale alive?
Listen, when you see these massive sperm whales washing up on both coasts of the U.S., that's a magnetic shift.
Yeah.
They run on sonar. Okay, you've got weather patterns changing. You've got volcanoes. You've got earth shifts happening. Stronger
50
storms coming.
foot.
And you've got a bunch of windmills in the ocean. Like, that's a good idea.
Oh my
It's
god.
not. It's not a good idea. It's disrupting things.
It's a bad
but
idea.
that's a sign. That's a sign that something's coming. And you know, I know that right whales wash up, and sometimes pods of them do.
Yeah.
They're a lot smaller than a sperm whale. For sperm whales washing up, that big daddy got some good shots.
Well, the sperm whales have done that before as a pod too, beached themselves as a pod. Wasn't there something that happened like years ago? It was like a tragedy. It was like 100 of them. Like,
were they sperm whales or were they right whales?
Maybe they're right whales. 52
yeah, they
to.
might have been right whales.
I remember being in school in like eighth grade, we used to do this thing called Whale Wars, where he's so stupid, but it was a big deal. Um,
Well, for sure,
all I'm
they run
getting,
on
all I'm
sonar
getting
and
is
magnetic
Nantucket.
field.
Yeah,
So when a magnetic field's disrupted, okay, think about this: the Havana syndrome. We talked about how there's like this, super secret, you know, weapon that throws out radar microwave signals, okay?
yeah,
And it has screwed up a bunch of CIA agents that worked in Cuba at this certain building, and it targeted them. And there are other high profile ranking people in the government that have said that they've been targeted as well because they could feel it in their head and their heart, and they
yeah.
felt the
They're
pressure. Okay, so if we already know that we have a weapon like that, okay, we know that the Earth runs on magnetism, okay, the core, everything, okay. So when you get a mammal that runs on sonar and magnetic wave, and it were to get hit by something, it scrambles their head. They don't know where they're going.
yeah. Look at this sonic weapon used in Serbia.
See,
It can damage your hearing and even deafen you. So, dude, it's potential.
it's ultrasonic waves, is what it
Yeah,
is.
that's
And
crazy.
so
Well, they're
when
trying to
you've
say
got
they're trying to use it for
well,
crowd control. That's what like the use would be, right? You know what I mean?
yeah, and then the
Air
health effects 20
quotations
years down
there.
the road. Yeah, it's crazy. But I'm not saying that somebody's using something and targeting whales. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is magnetic fields and ultrasonic waves, they all tie in together, especially in the water, especially with a mammal
Well,
that
sound waves
uses
travel further in
sonar.
water too.
Yes, it does. And especially a mammal that uses sonar in order to navigate. So if they were to start, when they do the necropsies on these whales, if they have like, there's got to be a whale neurologist out there somewhere that can study the brain of these whales to find out if their sonar was off because of something that caused damage to their matter in their brain.
Yeah,
I mean, to me, that would seem pretty simple. You know, I don't know. Whale's a mammal, just like we are. Neurologist, even a human one, should be able to figure that one out.
yeah.
Or I just broke the internet by figuring it out myself. But I really think that the windmills also contribute
You're
to
right
that.
though. Pilot whales seem to be the most popular whale to find beached.
Yeah, pilot whales, right
Oh
whales.
yeah, that's right. It was in Western Australia last year. That's what it was. You remember that?
Yep, a whole bunch of them. I think we talked about it last year, too.
Yeah, we did. Hang on, let me pull it up. Let me pull that up. Over. That's what I was thinking of.
Yeah, there was a whole bunch of them that washed up.
I'm not gonna play the audio in case they slap me
But a
on the wrist.
humpback whale is literally humongous.
Oh yeah. They said that
Yeah,
sperm whale
these
was
are
over 50
small.
feet.
And the thing is, when you watch these, like, we have right whales and pilot whales,
Yeah.
that we can see here in Maine and off the East Coast and stuff. And when they travel, they look like dolphins. There's a whole bunch of them traveling together. So if you get the leader of the pack and you've got a sonar that's gone awry because of windmills or something else that's traveling in the
Yeah, it
water,
throws them off. Like
okay,
imagine having like an open road, right?
you
And
get a
then
whole bunch of them beaching
and
themselves
then
all at the same time.
yeah, so they rescued a ton of these. That's pretty cool. Wow, look at all these bystanders too helping out. I don't know if you're seeing
Dude,
this.
you got to pull up what's been going on in Oregon and Nantucket because in Oregon, um, they euthanized. They had a Native American tribe come out to
What
euthanize
do I gotta Google?
the whale.
Oregon whales.
Google, yeah,
Oregon whale
Oregon.
explosion 1970 comes right up. You
No, no, no,
remember
no, no,
that
no,
though?
no, no, no. Yeah, no, yeah, I do. They did
Oregon
that on the movie. That was
whales
crazy. No,
save beached.
no. Oregon beach. Wait,
Dude,
just do
all that's gonna
Oregon
come
whale, and
up
it'll
is,
pull it up.
oh, there he is. That's you're talking about. That was 1 day ago. Wow, what the heck's
Yeah,
going on,
just
Dan?
happened, just like in Nantucket. I'm telling you, this just happened in the
All
last
right,
couple
hold on.
days.
Here we go.
Two whales on two different
Whoa,
coasts.
he's still alive too. Oh my god.
Yes, dude, they have bucket brigade there. They have people trying to pull it out during high tide. They couldn't. There's nothing on Earth that could have pulled this out. Not even a helo. You know, maybe a big, huge cruise ship. But how are you going to get this thing hauled off by a cruise ship? A cruise ship has to have a deep water spot.
They
You
get it.
can't.
You tie a rope to the tail. You get a drone. The water is so rough too.
No,
Look at the
sperm
background.
whale. Sperm whale. It was crazy, and people
I
made
don't know.
great
There's nothing
efforts
you
at
can
it.
do.
Well, the Native American tribe, they utilized a lot of the whale meat. They processed it like they would
Oh
back in the
yeah,
old days, and the other
that's
pieces,
very
there were
respectable.
there were chunks left all over the beach. And if you just looked at the pictures and didn't read the article, you would think, oh, those people, I can't believe they wasted that meat and they left it there. No, ashes to ashes, dust to
See,
dust. That
Oregon.
whale meat is going to be hauled off with the surf, and it's going to feed all these other ocean animals that are there,
Yeah,
and
and
it's going to
blowing it up was.
help with the environment.
They didn't learn anything from 1970 where they blew it up, and that was,
Yeah,
dude. Sorry, I gotta look that up.
that was crazy. I think that happened in California.
No,
But
that's
you know what they did in Nantucket?
other. If you type in 1970, it'll say Oregon whale explosion and then Chevelle right under right under there. Holy crap!
Listen, what I read about the dead sperm whale here on the East Coast in Nantucket today was that they had state biologists go out and remove the teeth and the jaw because it's illegal to possess or to harvest. Well, it's illegal to harvest whale teeth. And
Yeah,
they were afraid that looky-loos were going to go out there and start pulling whale teeth out in Nantucket. But in Oregon, I don't think,
you know that
listen,
they used to use
I don't think
whalebone
that
for
was the
everything
case.
back then. They used to use it for combs and everything.
They still do. They still do in
Yeah, I
Alaska.
I saw I saw this video years ago, but I think didn't the Simpsons, like everybody's made fun of this thing. What were they thinking back then here? Blowing it up with dynamite?
They,
What were they thinking? It was just going to be a million tiny little squares of pieces or something?
they weren't thinking. It got all
I
over
mean, I
cars. It
guess
got all over people. It was like a
like
horror scene. It was
you drag
crazy.
that back into the ocean, right? And just sink it? Isn't that what you normally? Look at this guy, George Thornton.
You can't move it. You can't move it.
Kid in the
But I
background,
mean,
kicking around.
this was in the 70s,
I'm ready to
and
blow
I
up
gotta
that
tell you,
whale.
my dad is a dynamiter. Okay, a pretty well known one too,
He's
by
like
the
all
way.
jealous they get
And
to blow up a
my
whale.
father, yes, they would have loved to do something like this because dynamiters are crazy. Period. End
Yeah.
of.
This thing
And
has been sitting on the beach. What we're not saying, this thing has been sitting on that beach, stinking the whole town to high heaven. That's why they blew it
they
up.
came up with this thing to blow
But it
up.
made it. Well, look, all the
And it
old
set up the
timers are
whole
sitting in the
town.
back. Look at these guys sitting in the way back. They're like, "Oh, first whale, huh?"
Yeah, they're waiting for the whale pieces to fly, and everybody starts screaming.
Run, Grandma. It's not safe right there.
Oh,
See everybody sitting on the beach waiting for this thing.
he's trying to get people to move away from the beach and go up on the bank, and a lot of
Oh
people up
my
on the bank even
gosh,
got
dude.
sprayed. It was crazy. Look,
Oh my
it's like,
god,
I'm
dude.
here. Here it goes.
I forgot about that. You ever
Oh,
see what's that movie where they blow
look
like
at pieces everywhere.
well dude they like destroy
See it next
cars
to the
and
camera. It got got all over cars, all over people. Look at the pieces still falling down.
Oh my god, dude. And it's
It's everywhere.
dunk,
Look at it.
broke. Oh, look at that guy. Oh, what kind of car is that? Oh
Oh,
man.
yeah. But yeah,
Oh,
so Nantucket,
what is that, dude?
they
That
removed the teeth, and in Oregon, they didn't go into depth about it, but the Native American tribe utilized all the
well,
pieces.
that is
And
great. That is as
look
much
at
as
what
it
it did
makes
to
me
that
laugh
car.
about this guy's car getting killed with whale blubber. I'm happy that the Native Americans were able to use
Yeah, they
everything.
put it this
They
way:
use every piece from that.
they euthanized the animal and they honored it,
Yeah.
and that's the best outcome
It,
because it didn't have to suffer
it's
anymore.
kind of like if you know, maybe somebody hits a big buck in the middle of the night and you don't want to waste the meat and you know,
Yeah, but even a buck,
that ain't no
if you
whale.
if you no listen, if you paunch an animal, do you know what that means? Paunch?
Like not kill it all the way but cause you're going to be the reason it dies.
No,
Okay,
paunch.
never mind.
Paunch is the main term.
I'm way off then.
when
Go ahead.
when when
Educate.
when I if I were to hit a deer, okay,
Yeah.
and I paunched it, that means that I hit it in its gut with my grill, okay. Whether that animal's dead or alive, I'm not eating that meat
Yeah.
because
It's
the
tainted.
interior it's tainted. It probably the intestines ruptured, and when a bowel starts, it leaks. The muscle meat almost instantly starts turning into liquid. So you don't eat paunched roadkill ever. People try to save it. People try to cut off hindquarters and stuff like that, but it's really not recommended.
I wouldn't recommend it, but almost everybody I know out in the woods in PA is like, if you hit next time you hit your deer, you call me. I'm like, all right.
Well, when you gut it, you
Sorry.
can inspect it. When you gut it, you can inspect it, and maybe it didn't rupture.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
rule of thumb is you don't know until you gut it. And when that's how come this chronic waste disease. How you said I've sitting the deer, and you got hunters that you read said would you eat this ground up? No,
Yeah, like if you
they're not gonna. And because you can tell immediately when you gut it if it's bad, you can smell it.
yeah.
Usually, if you got a healthy animal and you do that transverse cut from neck to a-hole or whatever, and everything just like spills out, the intestines spill out. It'll be warm, and you'll see like some warm vapors come out of it, especially
Yeah.
if you're gutting it outside. But it's not going to stink
Well,
unless
see,
the bowel was perforated or something.
like sometimes, and I'm not familiar with venison. I'm a meat cutter, beef, pork, and chicken predominantly. So a lot of times, like all meat and specifically fish too, they all have a smell. It's not a bad smell, it's just a smell. It's what it's supposed to smell like. Sometimes when you open something and it doesn't have a smell, you ever have that happen to you? Where it lacks the freshness? Like, you know what I mean? Like it
No,
just,
you can always smell something. You can always smell the fluids or something.
see,
But if
I
it
don't know.
doesn't smell, I would think, okay, was this flash frozen?
Yeah. Yeah,
Because
I've had,
that's why tuna doesn't smell like tuna
yeah.
when you get it at sushi places. They catch it, it goes in a truck, and it's flash frozen.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy. So like if something don't, that's the old saying, if something don't smell right around here, that's where it is.
Oh my God, Adam. Oh,
Let's see
oh,
here. I also, last thing I want to talk about is we're obviously in winter now. What can we forage for? What is there? Chaga
Turkey
and
tail,
turkey tail.
turkey tail, chaga,
Let's see. I like,
chaga, or like my grandson Henry says, chaga.
yeah, I like going on.
Chaga, listen,
Go
let's
ahead.
talk about chaga for a second,
Let's
too,
do it.
because a lot of people are going to be out there foraging for chaga. It's going to be easier to see.
Yeah,
Listen, the old wives' tale out there was that chaga is only viable medicinally if you harvest it in the wintertime. Science has proven that inaccurate. Chaga is viable as long as it's still on a living birch tree.
yeah.
Okay, not an old crusty decaying one that the wood you can just basically take off with your fingernail. You know those kind of that's not good chaga because it's no longer the tree's not alive. It's not getting any nutrients from the trees or the roots. Right? Makes sense, right?
Yeah.
But chaga primarily the reason why that got out there for all these years is because it's easier to see chaga in the wintertime because the leaf drop. So you could be I could be a mile away from a birch tree that's got chaga and I could spot it in the wintertime. You know,
I've
especially if
been
it's
looking.
around a bunch of
I haven't
deciduous
found
trees.
any. I haven't
Oh my
found any.
goodness, I find it all the time. We got a lot of birch trees here in Maine, especially up in the highlands. And just go looking for birch. You know, you find some aspen trees, you're gonna find some birch
Oh, I
trees.
know.
All right.
I think chaga gets like super overlooked all year, and then when we all run out of stuff to forage for and talk about, you're like, oh yeah, chaga, let's go. You know, that we jump back in here. So I'll read some health benefits. This is on webmd.com. So chaga mushrooms began attracting attention over the past few decades due to their health benefits. Some early animal and lab studies on chaga mushrooms have shown promising results for strengthening the immune system and fighting cancer, among others. So that's pretty broad. I think that's a lot of wild medicinal mushrooms.
Here's my take on chaga.
I don't
My
have,
take on
yeah.
chaga is it's the one that came out first, where it was talking about anti-cancer and antioxidant and stuff like that. So it came in the new kid on the block for the mushrooms. Okay,
It's like an
so
ambassador.
somebody who didn't, yeah, kind of. So somebody who wasn't used to eating mushrooms before hears about chaga. Oh, it's a coffee. Oh, yeah, I could brew this into a coffee. It's a good starter mushroom. Once you
Yeah.
start getting into the mushrooms a little bit more, and you realize chaga's great,
Yeah.
but turkey tail is the king for cancer preventative and the one that's documented the most for
Yeah.
God knows however many years on the planet. It's also been widely used for millennia in Chinese medicine for its benefits of,
Yeah. And you
get
just triggered my
tumors to
brain
go away.
about the recent um, study on turkey tail is they're trying to use the mycelium to replace plastic, right? Am I wrong, or is that?
Yeah,
Yeah. So I wanted
yeah,
to talk
and
about that.
it because no, it cleanses. Remember how I talked about in a
What should I look
podcast,
up? I'm
and
sorry. Turkey
I'll,
tail. I want to find that news story. It was good.
turkey tail and PFAS. Look that up,
How do you spell? What?
okay? PFAS. What's that plastic that's in the ground? Microplastics, PFAS. Remember how I talked about this specifically on a live podcast about a month and a half, maybe 2 months ago? It was
Here
some
it
point
is.
in the recent
Yeah,
where
single-use
I said
plastic wrap.
where yeah where I said they're going to find that mushrooms are the cure to PFAS contamination as well as the plastic problem that we got.
Yeah,
And
it says
sure
combining.
enough, here it is. Ta-da! My intuition knows no bounds.
A recently published study shows promising results from combining edible turkey tail fungus with a solution of wood fibers. The end
Yep.
product is a natural, sustainable, waterproof coating that may be a replacement for a single use plastic food wrap and synthetic paper cup coatings. So, University of
You
Maine
know why?
researchers, shout out to Maine. Hey, there you go, Maine. Finally, you're on the board. Get on that ghost pipe.
I know, and
one
I
of
put this article out on our page, by
I
the
read
way.
it. Yeah, I read it the morning. I read it before you posted it, but
Yeah.
that's
Oh, you did?
that doesn't make me I didn't actually read it. I saw it, but here we are. Yeah, they
Think about it. Think about it. Turkey tail is a wicked thin mushroom. Okay? And because it's so thin, you don't need to dehydrate it when you tincture it.
no.
You just leave it on your counter overnight. Done. It's dried the next day. Okay? But you don't really need to dry this mushroom either. You can collect them fresh, have them be a little bit pliable, fresh, and usually that happens after it's been raining. We've gone through a period of rain. Okay? Notice how when you got a wet turkey tail that you collected in the rain,
Yeah.
that polypore surface stays. It doesn't move. You can't scratch it off.
Yeah, it's
That's a testament to its waterproof capability. Okay, hydrophobic capabilities of that polypore pad. Okay, in in situ with that wood. The wood that it's feeding off of, where the mycelium is inside in the bark. Sometimes you can.
yeah,
Sometimes you'll come
they're
across a
showing you
bush of turkey
here.
tail, and you can pull it away, and you see all that mycelium, all that webby stuff.
Oh yeah.
Okay, it's integrated in with the tree fibers. Look how waterproof that is.
Yeah, that's what I'm
Of
looking at.
course, it's going to make a perfect plastic.
They did a great study on this too. Like, so yeah, they're saying that the
That's
water
why whenever someone asks me
it just
about
sits
drying
there.
turkey tail and argues with me and tells me that no, I was taught to put it in a dehydrator. Look at how
No, no.
hydrophobic it is. That's why you use high proof alcohol in making a tincture. Especially now, I
Yeah,
hope
dude.
everybody is getting this visual and that people really look at this podcast and they make the connection. High proof
And let me tell
alcohol
you,
is going to go right through those membranes.
the lab
It's
grade,
it.
the lab grade stuff that I ordered this past year for the first time, when we tinctured the reishi and turkey tail, big difference, big difference.
And
Then
here's and
we
here's
used
the here's
151 on one. All right, not to cut you off again, but the 151 batch of turkey tail I made, when in that red bottle, it was trapped in my long
yeah,
neck bottle. Well, I
yeah.
fished all that out, and it was not nearly as good as the turkey tail tincture I made with the other one. I combined it all, but when I had it, I was like, this one's not as good as this one. Uh, I won't.
It could be the color of the turkey tail too.
Well,
Like sometimes in the wintertime, it depends on the season, but I usually find the blue
I could
turkey
tell
tail a
by
lot in the wintertime.
they were the same color, but the smell and the was way you
Oh
could
yeah,
just
way
tell.
different.
If I hand it to you, Jan, you'd be like, I say, which one's better? You'd go this one. You would
Oh
just
yeah.
know, just like the hunters know if they have The Walking Dead with the deer.
Oh yeah. But don't forget
This is
now,
trippy though, yeah.
the oh, I forgot
This
what I
is
was going
great.
to
This
say.
is a
I
great.
forgot what I was going to say.
This
Don't forget what I
article
was what I
is
was
one
going
of
to
the
say is
is one of the better
yeah,
studies of turkey tail in
it
recent
is. And
history.
turkey tail, when you go to make the tinctures, you can tear them with your hand. Okay,
Yeah.
if they're pliable, you can tear them with your hand. But what I was going to say that I forgot that I just remembered is, listen, recently I uncorked this massive cure I had going on a turkey tail. Okay, that was 5 years aged. Okay,
Yeah.
pure 190, been sitting there just waiting for that water detoxin to happen, and in stasis in alcohol. Okay, that alcohol took out all the medicinals that the alcohol is going to withdraw. So when I was decanting, and I was like, wow, I can't believe I left this on the shelf. And but even the turkey tail that I removed from that cure, that has been sitting in 190 for 5 years, I put that on my counter, Addie. I had a beautiful big caramel looking rosette. You know how they grow those big rosette that
Yeah.
looks like flowers, turkey tail? Well, it still looks like fresh turkey tail right now,
After
sitting
you
on my
tinctured it
counter.
5 years.
5 years. The velvety top is still there. The polypore white surface is still there.
Yeah.
And I show it. I show it in some of the lectures and talks that I give. I show people, yeah, this is your proof that anybody who tells you using high proof alcohol will destroy a mushroom or ruin your tincture, they're full of shit. Because look at this. Did this turn to mush? No. And I pass it around, and people are like, "Oh my God, this looks like you just harvested it today." Yep, it does.
Yeah, I
It
had
does.
I had turkey tail in a brown paper bag that I had harvested like I don't know a month or two ago. I said, I was like, oh shit, I gotta tincture this, and it
Yeah,
was still
you
fine.
want to. If listen, if you harvest it, it's in a paper bag.
Yeah,
No harm, no foul. Actually, it's easier to clean off the debris that way
yeah,
because
it
the
was.
easiest way that I found to clean off debris is wax paper. If you lay any kind of mushroom on wax paper, specifically turkey tail, and you give them like a little shake with your hand, to ungroup them a little bit. You can go ahead and you can pick the turkey tail out, and the pine needles and stuff like that, and all the other debris that was on it before that you didn't see will still be on that. You'll be able to see it on the wax paper. You'll get a good visual of the dirt and debris. Um, but closing a paper bag and shaking it will loosen up some debris if it's still stuck there too. And
That's a
then
good
just pour
tip.
it out and pick out just pick out your pieces, tear them up. When you want to use dried turkey tail within 6 months in order for the medicinals to be viable. Okay,
Yeah,
you don't really, you know,
I forgot
some
they were
people
there.
will
It was a
tell you,
small amount.
some people will
I
tell you
threw
you
them
can
in the
go for a
tincture. I said, here you
year.
go.
I wouldn't go beyond 6 months, not for me. But my turkey tail doesn't last. I collect it. I stick it in mason jars. I take it home. I
Yeah,
clean it.
I
I
think
stick
it's
it in mason
a
jars.
it is still
And
prime time turkey season right now. If we get out there, it still
you
hasn't
you
been
can get it
freezing
all winter
all.
long.
I know,
You can get it all winter
but
long.
it's prime time.
What's prime right now
Tell me
is
what's prime.
enoki. Enoki.
Enoki. All right.
Enoki looks like sticky cinnamon buns with stems growing in a cluster, primarily on elms. And you will get those after the first frost.
I've
And
had plenty of
and you'll
frost,
you'll
so
find that, yeah, you'll find them. You'll find them with snow and ice on them and stuff like that. At the beginning of the winter. So, but enokis are popping up in all the foraging groups in the northeast corridor
yeah.
right now. So,
Enokis and Hen of the Woods
and
kind
they're
of went
small.
away.
They're tiny little cats. Some of them are can be as big as your thumb.
Oh, they're
Your
very
thumb
pretty.
small. But they are. They're really pretty. But this is the difference between wild forage and cultivated.
Yeah,
Think
I can
about this a
tell.
second. You buy a gnocchi in the grocery store. You see that white bunch in your picture right there?
Yeah.
That's what it looks like. It looks like straw. That's cultivated. Real gnocchi that grows wild forage is going to have a nice caramel color to it. It's full of all those beta glucans and all that great medicine. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
They're good for you.
there's a
Gnocchi's
big
good for
difference
you.
between uh, wild and not wild.
For sure.
Now, I've never had them, but yeah, I have seen that. That's what they're going for. I'm in a
And
I'm in a Reddit
they do
thing. I
have listen, they do have a poison lookalike,
Yeah, that's what I was gonna
which
say.
is deadly Galarina. So Galarina, marginalis, and yeah, that's the deadly lookalike.
Let's see the
And
lookalike.
that
Let's
is
see the lookalike compared. Wow, they do
deadly
look alike.
Galarina. Yeah, and
Ooh.
it's called they also call it the funeral bells Galarina.
So they do look. They look like they grow a little bit different. But yeah, they're similar, man.
Yeah.
Yikes!
So
Yikes!
those white
Yikes!
ones that you find in the pack that are, usually in the Asian sections and stuff like that.
They're all farm raised.
Yeah, those are farm raised. See, no natural sunlight. So eating those, is that going to help? Is that going to, reduce your risk of cancer, even if it's cultivated? Yeah,
I
but you got
found
to
a
eat a lot
bunch of
more of it.
birch polypore, and that's my next tincture. I'm gonna have to cook down. But yeah, I thought birch polypore was very, very, very abundant.
Listen, the
See if
reason
people are
why
selling it.
let's talk about Galarina for a second, and I think it's something we should talk about, especially during enoki season. The reason why Galarina is so toxic and why people do die from this is because it has a deadly amatoxin. It's very potent and it causes liver and kidney shutdown. And sometimes it happens in just hours. And if they're not treated, if someone's not treated right away, if someone gets home and they think, oh, I got food poisoning, that's the reason why my gut hurts, that's the reason why I'm puking. No. If you got back pain with that, that is kidney failure. Liver doesn't have pain receptors. You're not going to feel that. You're just going to feel really bloated, and you're already going to have a lot of diarrhea, and you're going to think it's from the diarrhea. No,
Yeah,
if it's not
doesn't
treated,
it
if it's not
require
treated
like
right away,
immediate
you
liver
can die from
transplant?
yes, almost immediately. If you can get on the donor list that quick, if
Which you
you
can't.
are healthy enough to be, which you're not, you're full of amatoxins right now. So, but it's the kidney failure too, So always ID your mushrooms, know what grows on what, knows how to ID what. Galarina is not going to have a sticky top. Enoki is. And enoki's always going to have a sticky top.
Like if you touch it, it's kind of.
Except and it glistens. That's why that's why I nickname it, cinnamon sticky buns. It looks like little cinnamon sticky buns in a tree.
Interesting.
And some clusters can only be as big as your fist. That would be a whole cluster of enokis. That's how small they are.
Man, oh man. Yeah, the winter season is upon us. Everybody get ready to hunker down. Get all your running around, piddle paddling done because I'm actually ready to hunker down this winter. Last winter I was trying to set this up, trying to set that up, trying to,
Dude,
do all
you're
this
permanent.
shit.
You are in permanent cuffing season. You are a newlywed.
Now I'm hunkered down. Now I'm just
Yeah.
anchored.
You're
At the bottom of the
hunkered
ocean.
down.
Whale shit. They're gonna blow me up. Isn't that funny? You ever hear someone? You ever have someone call you that? Yeah,
What,
you're whale
hunker?
shit now. You're at the bottom of the ocean.
Yeah, no one's ever said no. I've said
It's
things
not a
lower
good
than
thing to
whale
be.
shit,
It's not a good
but
thing to be told.
that's not a nice thing, from what I understand. Is to be lower
It's just
than
an
whale
honest
shit.
thing. It's like
That's
welcome to your new job. You're to work your
no,
way
no,
up.
the only thing that's lower than whale shit are politicians and lawyers.
There you go.
Except when you need one.
I can agree on that. I can
when you
agree
need
on
one, you can
that.
float one up. No, listen, listen, I know my
Don't
family's
kiss up to
attorney,
him
just
now.
in case he's listening. I love you. You're the best one out there. That's why I've got you.
He's gonna use that. He's gonna use that whale comment tomorrow.
Yeah, he better not. He better not. I better not get for
Oh
sure.
man.
But no, but yeah, that's what I know about learned whale shit. As we talked about whales that unfortunately beached on two coasts
Yeah,
today,
yeah, I
which is
didn't mean to bring up the whales, but yeah, the
bad boy
analogy.
Addie, bad boy. That was a bad pun. That's okay.
It's all right. It was to avoid a
but
political tirade, but yeah, we're as far as foragers, I would say the political environment doesn't affect us too much right now, but it's really hard to avoid the conversation. It's pretty hot. So we try to stay focused on the channel and the group, and
and that's it.
some weird
And
laws
every
pop
now and then,
in, or
I may say something completely inappropriate, and that's okay because guess what? This is real. This is real
yeah,
time. We're not working off a script. I'm human. Everybody's human,
yep.
and
If we get popular
that's just
enough
the
to
way it
do an
goes.
apology video, then that's fine. But
Well,
I don't see that
listen.
happening.
Not everything has to be PC, okay?
Nah,
And
no,
Addie, you and I do these talks because and why we went public with them is because we were having them privately
yeah,
very, very frequently, weren't we?
yeah. So
And it was like you and I would be every time we talked, we'd be talking about this kind of stuff, and we go on for hours, and we're like, ding, 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 we should do a podcast about our conversation,
yeah,
which is kind of what we're doing. Like when Addie's talking to you, he's a dude that's on the screen, right?
yeah,
At the beginning, when we were first doing this, I was the one that was on the screen, and Addie was like the voice, and we'd switch on and off. And Addie has been in the music business for a bit, and he's a pro at the audio and all that other
yeah.
kind of stuff. And he looks great on camera.
Oh no,
and
I
I
don't look
love
that
and I
great.
love I love watching his cats in the background. So that's what he's doing, and I know you see it just like I see it. But what you don't see is I'm lamped out this afternoon, and I'm sitting in my master bedroom with a heating pad on my back because I had a fight with a lazy Susan earlier, and I'm doing a
Yeah,
podcast, and I'm not thinking of who's listening or who's watching. I'm just talking to you, Abby. That's all. So you
yeah. We're just
hope if we offend you, well, maybe we're not your channel. I don't know, but
I try not
you
to. I
know,
mean, there's no reason to like go out of your way to be like like the biggest problem with social media is controversy sells. So being controversial, if you want to be successful and you want views and clicks, you'll get that. But you're going to get the negative ones and the positive ones, right? Just because you want clicks, views, likes, and that's why the political storm is so
listen,
easy to
I
talk about. And we're trying to
it
avoid that
is
kind of
because
shit. So
yes,
it would be
yeah.
easy for me to go up and say, uh, you know, ghost pipe user for 6 years, like, and then put some clickbait thing, and then all this stuff.
No,
We're not
we're
that. We'd
called
rather
we're
be
no, we're
no
called
no
we're
clickbait.
called the practical foragers for a reason. We're real. I'm not on camera with all kinds of thousands of dollars of neck and chest tattoos or full of makeup whenever you see me. I'm out in the woods in the rough where it's real. And I think we've had enough in America where people are dumbing it down. People want to, for whatever reason, it's more commercialized than the real. And
Yeah,
when you're learning how to do this, when you're learning how to forage, you gotta learn from somebody real because most of you guys have lost generations of foragers within your own family, and you didn't do this as a kid like I did. And thank goodness, I brought my son out to do things. He knew farms, he knew gardening when he got older, and I have the utmost joy is the only way I can express it of
yeah,
teaching my grandson the same thing. Now they're going to grow up with memories of how to do this and things like that,
Yeah.
and so it's going to be easy for them to go out on a hike and say, "Oh yeah, that's a bolete," and "Oh no, that's a shelf mushroom." They're going to know how to differentiate right off. Whereas the average person is going to go out there, and all they're going to have is some makeup wearing diva or some stage dudes wearing, all their gear promoting their business
Yeah. And
and
you
stuff like that.
you
And
wonder
how
where
are you
some of these
supposed to
guys came
believe
from.
them?
You're like, dude, where's their YouTube channels? There's
I
a
have never met a forager
there's
in full makeup foraging
nah,
anything.
there's
They
a
would
couple
be
guys
covered.
that popped
They
up
would be covered
recently,
in
and
acne.
I'm like, you
You'd
guys
be
are
covered.
paid.
Yeah. So you and I do this, and we bring the real, so that if you really want to know what it's like when we're out there, what's going on,
Yeah.
what kind of gear minimally to
Mm-hmm.
wear, and things like that. And I know a lot of you guys got tattoos, and I have one too, but I there's a lot of research out there now about how ink is being found in lymph nodes. It's so
There's also a
being
lot of dirty
mind
tattooers too now, tattoo artists.
yeah. So being
And you
mindful
pay for
of
what you get and who you get it from.
that's right. That's right. So you have to be mindful of the types of ink that you
Yeah.
use. Okay? Because you don't want it traveling to your lymph nodes. The lymph nodes are your body's filter. So if it's traveled to your lymph nodes, it's gone to other things in your body, and God knows what else it has the ability to change.
Yeah.
So always ask about your inks. Always go with a licensed tattoo artist if you're going to do it, and things like that. But I look at that and I think I have never come across in the woods somebody in full makeup and perfect hair and very clean attire, by the way.
Not in the middle of the woods, dude.
Not in
Not.
the middle of the woods.
No. I'm gonna
I,
respond to a
I,
couple
I,
comments real quick, Dan. You got a second? Ready?
yes, yes,
Ghetto
yes.
hippie. They were responding to a couple things, but she said research and Google Bill Gates mosquitoes. I did hear about that. And then she says,
Yeah.
can we were talking about climate change earlier, and they said can give you myocarditis too, right? So I haven't looked into that, but we
Well,
will.
what? Well, listen. Myocarditis,
Yeah,
okay, is heart muscle inflammation. Anything that has itis after it means inflammation, if you
yeah,
break it down in medical terminology, okay? Myo is muscle, cardo, heart, okay? So muscle
yeah,
surrounds the heart, it's inflamed. So if the ink is getting found in lymph nodes, of course it's traveled through the blood system. It's gone through the heart.
yeah. He was talking about climate change. This is like
Climate change. Sorry
this is
about
when we were
that. You
talking about
should
the
have
pole
interrupted me.
shifting. Um, I'm sorry I didn't get to
Listen,
you sooner.
I don't know about causing heart inflammation. I think that all we are saps of water. That's all we are. Okay? So water has vibration, it
Yeah,
carries frequency. So, we have these saps surrounding our organs. You got the pericardium that surrounds the heart, and that has pericardial fluid in it, so that when the heart beats, it doesn't rub. Think of it like the body's
yeah.
lubricant oil.
Well,
Okay? So if you were hit with some radio wave, yeah, it could
yes,
cause stroke, it could cause heart attack, it could cause all kinds of things.
yeah. They said I just googled it real quick for them. Low and high environmental temperatures re-identified as primary risk factors for myocarditis. The low environmental temperature being most significant. Um, Interesting. Wow, that was October 11th. So thank you for commenting. That is new to us. Interesting, interesting, interesting. So post COVID-19 and climate effects. You know what that might be? Oh man. All right, I don't want to go down that rabbit hole, but it looks like
That's a that's
it
a rabbit
it
hole.
looks like somebody is pointing fingers at climate change again, and I am not too sure climate change
Listen,
causes that.
I
That's all.
will
Tinfoil hats
I
off.
listen at the beginning of that whole pandemic.
Plandemic, maybe.
I yeah, maybe. It
Perhaps.
definitely was. I'm a firm believer,
Could have
and I
been.
have stayed steadfast with this.
Yeah.
That I
Can't get
have
banned
definite
twice in a
thoughts on
week.
this.
Got slapped last week. Can't get slapped this week on the live.
No,
But
no. But
yeah,
but
that's where that story came
cold.
from.
Listen, cold staves off molecular movement.
Yeah.
Okay, the colder something is, the less it's going to be bouncing.
Yeah.
Okay, it's almost gets like I told you. If you sneeze, if you walk by somebody that sneezed in front of you,
Yeah.
even if it was a minute or two ago, we know the velocity of sneezes. Okay, they can go like close to 100 miles an hour. So you got moisture coming out of somebody's mouth going that fast in the cold. It's going to kind of like slow down and go in stasis. So people that live in northern climates, the reason why they say, "Oh, they're hardened off." You ever hear that term? How somebody's hardy or hardened off?
Yeah.
Okay, that's what they mean. It means that our we get sick less because we got
Yeah.
thicker blood. Thicker blood, they say.
Yeah.
When it really
Yeah.
isn't thicker blood, it's just that our immune system is kind of on crack a little bit, and the colds.
Dude,
We're
when I
not a
get
warm
sick,
climate.
when I get sick, let's see. I use my wife as a time frame. So we've been together for over 3 years. I've been sick one time. Like, I mean, actually, like, call out of work sick. Like, this shit sucks. It hurts. I can't get out of bed. Sick. One time.
Yeah.
3 years.
And Jenny was sick all the time.
And she was sick all the freaking time. And then, and then she started taking tinctures, and voila, allergies went
My
away.
turkey tail, and my reishi.
And
Every
and
time.
and she has been saved. But yeah, Jen, I appreciate your time. This is going on pretty long. 2 viewers on Facebook, shout out to you. Thanks for everybody joining. Our Facebook group is almost to 11.1 thousand, so can't tell you how happy I am to hang my hat on that. So we really, really appreciate everybody in the group, and we want people to reach out to us to expand more. So feel free to message me or Jen. Yeah, and want to be on a podcast or buying and selling tab. If you want to share something to sell, just do us a favor and don't do a drive-by and just not even message us and just slap your page and you want followers and stuff. This group isn't about that. So it's more of a personal experience. So that's pretty much all I got to end with there. I'll let you take it away.
Well, I'll expand on that.
Yeah.
Slapping up any product without prior approval.
Yeah, dude, I can take down a couple.
We'll get you banned.
And we don't want to ban you.
And I'm
house.
all about people. Look, I've had to ban a few people recently because
I know,
they requested to make a post that was a repost of their business page with either teas or salves or bombs or whatever. It was a soft vendor. That's what I call that.
Yeah, they're beating around the bush.
Of course people are going to put, hey, where can I get that? Listen, if you're genuinely I'm open sourcing my methods that have been under guard for hundreds of years in our family, okay, been passed down. I'm open sourcing them. If I can do that, so can you.
Yeah.
So, if you got a tea that you think a specific blend will work, don't put it under your business banner. Actually write a post
Yeah.
without all the little emoticons and all that business,
Yeah,
so
I
that we know that you're
exactly.
real, and reach out to us, prior to, because Abby and I are pretty active admins. There's not one post, like, even if somebody posted something last week, I go back and I look at the subsequent comments.
Yeah.
Because that's when people will try to sneak something in all the time. Oh, have you tried this? And I'm fiercely protective of this group, and I will not be having any of this parasite bullshit and everything else that goes through in all these other forums where they all of a sudden their viewership and their membership goes to like 200,000 within a month, and it's all Indonesian and African scammers. I'm not having it. I'm a red, white, and blue American. I'm also half French Canadian. So, and I'm all about America and USA right now. If it's made here, if it's
Yeah.
grown here, I'm all about it. If it's being imported, not so much. And, it has to go through approval from admins first, okay? Because this is going to be a clean site. And no Ivor, none of that stuff. We're
Yeah.
using natural methods. We're not using synthesized drugs. We're not doing it. Because nature has everything out there that we need. As long as we know how to make it right, we're off and running, and we're at the races. And you don't have to depend on anybody anymore except for yourself.
And that is the number.
Addy made his first Rishi dual tincture this year.
Yes, I did, and it came out great.
Yes, it did. We've got a few of our OG members that I have sent dried reishi to that I foraged. And
Dude, that's a lifesaver.
because they were at a point. Yeah.
But yeah,
It's nice, isn't it?
yeah, it's been nice. I got them in my fridge, and there's a huge mother inside of each jar that is just
Perfect.
waiting to be shaken up every time. And I don't know. I'm happy. I think we're good. Happy Thanksgiving. I'm thankful for everybody here, and I'm thankful for you. I probably won't. I'll talk to you on Thanksgiving, but we probably won't do a live
Of course.
until after. So
Yeah, we probably won't.
maybe we'll do another one before. We'll see how we squeeze it in.
I may do one of those impromptu lives like I like to do. Like I showed everybody when I showed everybody how I drop my tinctures in the morning.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind showing people how to slice up a bird nice, but we'll see. We'll see. Raw bird.
Every husband ever in the history of the planet slicing a turkey is
not a cooked bird. I don't slice the cooked ones. I do the raw.
Oh, that's right. Listen, I put up a video of how to splotch a turkey. You would be perfect to do that.
I can do one better. I watched it.
Addie, you got to make a live video that shows how to splotch a turkey.
You got to take the keel bone out. You know what the keel bone is? You know what that is?
Yeah, listen, do it on Facebook Live and post it on the site. I'm telling you, it would help so many people.
My cats would love it. They'd steal the show.
Because a splotched turkey cooks quicker.
Yeah, it's better. It's crispier and nicer. Spatchcock chicken is better. Everything spatch is better. All you do is you take out the back and the neck, and then there's a breastplate in the middle of each turkey. It's on the inside of it. It's called the keel bone. Keel. They have the same bone in a chicken, and it's that little piece of cartilage you get on a bone-in split breast. You know that middle thing you get?
Yeah, that rubbery thing.
If you take a knife and just score around it, you don't cut real deep. It'll pull right out because it's cartilage. But if you score it, break the skin and score it against the bone and the cartilage, that thing will pull right out. It's connected to the wishbones. And you pull that thing right out. You pull that right out. Yeah, I watched your video. She didn't do that. You pull that right out and it'll sit flat. She breaks the back of it. You don't want to.
Yes.
Get out of town. She was nice. She had a nice video though, but it shows me people know just as much about cutting meat as they do about foraging when they post these videos and shit.
Listen, I want you.
I can run a whole meat channel, dude. It's just expensive.
Go get a turkey for
I'll get a
work,
bird. I get a
okay?
boneless breast and put it in my crock
Get
pot.
no. Get a bird, make a video, and I'll make a video of how to make a mushroom stuffing.
Oh man, that's actually cool, yo. If you made a video of mushroom stuffing,
See?
you,
I'll
nah,
make the mushroom
you.
stuffing, and you do the video for the splash turkey.
How the fuck are we gonna stuff it?
You, I'll put mine in muffin tins.
All right, I
Oh,
got
dude,
you.
I put my stuffing in muffin tins. It's that good. You want to eat it all the time. Because
Man, well,
I put mushrooms, pine nuts,
have you
cranberries. I
had
put
oyster
all
stuffing? Is
kinds of
that a
stuff.
thing for you?
Yes, I've had oyster
All
stuffing.
right,
Do I like oyster stuffing? No, I don't like oyster stuffing. I like my mushroom stuffing.
all right. Well, I'm ending these lives. It's been nice chatting with
Listen,
everybody.
everybody, thank you. We appreciate you, as Addie said. Happy gobble gobble Thanksgiving. Hopefully, me and Addie can do a food video.
Yeah, it's not gonna happen.
And if eat your mushrooms, keep your hands to yourself, especially at these family gatherings that are
Don't get
coming up.
political.
Don't make sure you got bail money if you do. But listen, be kind to one another, and especially be kind to yourself. Okay. Thank you, everybody, for always listening, and happy Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving.